Meet Juan Santamaria, the drumming dynamo of Costa Rica. With his trusty drum, he symbolized bravery and unity during the country's tough times. Imagine him, like a one-man band, marching into battle and inspiring everyone around him. His legacy is still beating strong in the region today. Now, let's follow Cesar, our enthusiastic history explorer, as he plans a trip to the local museums. He's on a mission to dig up Alajuela's past, uncovering tales that add flavor, and perhaps a pinch of spice, to this charming community's culture. Who knows what treasures he might find, like dusty old artifacts or the secret recipe for the best gallo pinto. Speaking of history, let's not forget the Municipal Theater in Alajuela, built back in the 1940s. This place has seen more performances than a Broadway star. From dramatic plays to quirky local shows, it's been a stage for the city's artistic flair, evolving over the decades like a fine cheese, getting better and a little smellier with time. Without missing a beat, this theater has hosted a buffet of cultural activities. Concerts, theatrical performances, you name it. It's the community's hub, where laughter echoes louder than your Uncle Bob's dad jokes at family gatherings. Since the 1940s, it's been the heart of Alajuela, beating along with its vibrant culture. Let's sprinkle in some juicy historical anecdotes. The tales of beloved figures and the occasional tragic events add depth to the community's character. They help us to connect with the past, sort of like how Grandma connects the dots between family members at dinner. And this is why Cousin Ted is scared of ducks. Next up, the park named Tomas Guardia. Dubbed with unique nicknames, this cultural landmark is where locals gather to share stories, laughter, and a little friendly banter. It's like a family reunion, but with fewer arguments over who gets the last piece of cake. A perfect blend of humor and history. Now, this museum is quite the historical heavyweight. It showcases the only Central American conflict where all nations united against a common enemy. It's like a group project gone right. Everyone worked together during tough times. This moment in history really emphasizes how teamwork makes the dream work, even when that dream is just surviving. Inside the museum, it's like stepping back to the 1850s. Coffee beans are being exported, and folks are transporting their goods in style. You can check out the historical attire, which looks like the fashion week for coffee farmers. Talk about a cultural evolution that can really wake you up. Now, take a moment to admire the transformation of Costa Rica's flag and coat of arms. They illustrate the nation's shift from a militaristic identity to one that stresses peace and democracy. It's like swapping your boxing gloves for yoga mats. Much calmer and more zen if you ask me. Speaking of rivalries, did you know there was a feud between Leon and Granada? Mix in some foreign mercenaries and you've got yourself a recipe for a very dramatic telenovela. This rivalry shaped the region's political landscape, showing us that sometimes history could use a little less drama and a little more harmony. And who could forget William Walker? He was trying to whip Central American countries into shape under US influence. He even designed a flag for his dreams. It's like trying to create a family crest to unite relatives. Good luck keeping everyone happy with that. Now, constructing a canal through Nicaragua? Easier said than done. Technological and financial hiccups had investors scrambling to favor the Panama route instead. It's a classic case of the grass is always greener on the other side, or in this case, the canal is just easier to build over there. The video dives into William Walker's ambitions to connect Central America with the southern United States. Picture the complexities of North American expansionism. It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. The geopolitical tensions were no joke, and it made for quite the historical soap opera. Let's bring it back to our hero, Juan Santamaria. He's celebrated as a national champion symbolizing resistance during conflicts in Central America. His famous act of burning the Mizan during battle is a central chapter in Costa Rican history. You could say he really knew how to light up the room, or in this case, a battlefield. And we can't skip over the historical prison that turned into the Juan Santamaria National Museum. Talk about an upgrade. It offers insights into daily life and interactions between prisoners and local students. It's like a field trip back in time, where you might get a lesson in history or two, and maybe a cautionary tale or three. A big shout out to the local guides and communities who help bring Alajuela's history and culture to life. Their contributions make travel experiences easier and more enjoyable. It's like having a GPS with a great sense of humor. No getting lost around here. Alajuela is indeed a hidden gem. Its cultural richness and folklore might not be in the tourist guidebooks, but they offer priceless experiences for those looking to connect deeply with Costa Rican heritage. It's the kind of place where you can discover a story or two that'll make your heart smile, or at least raise an eyebrow. So, pack your bags and plan your trip to Alajuela. Even the less touristy spots have unique tales and experiences waiting to be uncovered. Believe me, every traveler deserves a chance to explore and create their own hilarious family memories. After all, who doesn't want a souvenir story to tell? The mighty red button. It's like the big red easy button, only less likely to start a confetti party. This little gem represents a crucial decision point, urging everyone, yes, even your grandma, to jump in and engage with the content. Because let's be honest, just sitting back and watching isn't nearly as fun as getting involved, right? Interaction is the magic key here, unlocking doors to all sorts of exciting adventures ahead. Now, speaking of adventures, the prompt you see is like a friendly nudge from your mom reminding you that dessert is just around the corner. Except in this case, it's the next segment. It beautifully suggests that viewers should get ready to dive into the next exciting feature. Just think of it as building anticipation for a surprise party, except there's no cake, and you don't have to clean up afterward. So, gear up for what comes next. It's going to be a hoot.